Hey everyone. Thanks for showing up. Can you guys see me? Just somebody comment real quick. Make sure everything's working okay. Who do we have here? We've got hey Courtney, what's up? We got Courtney Judson, volleyball, Pamela, Joe, Mandolin 523. Um some I've been seeing some mixed messages on this episode. Um Thanks for showing up, Dual Synchronicity. I've been seeing some mixed messages on this episode. I really liked it. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. It was kind of a setup episode. Hey, Jessica. It was kind of a setup episode. Like it was a bit slower paced, but it was, man, there was so much great setup and foreshadowing, and it was the ending was so super creepy. Um, and guys, I just exactly, just because it's slow doesn't mean it was boring. Yeah, I didn't find it boring at all. And that, oh my god, Bells for Her at the end was such a perfect song. Um, if you guys don't know what it's about, it's basically like, I don't know if you listen to the lyrics at all, but it's basically kind of like the end of a friendship. Um, and it's, with it just sounds so ominous. Oh yeah, exactly. Somebody else just said it was ominous too. Um, it's yes, Courtney, Tori Amos. It was Tori Amos. Um, I'm I love that we've had 2 Tori Amos songs already. I'm kind of bummed that that neither of them have been from Boys for Pele, because that's my favorite album. But hey Roxy. Um but yeah, like I guys, if you get a chance, if you haven't already, um check out Fayfire, Feyfire on YouTube. She makes some really awesome videos. Hey, Annalise. Um, she makes some awesome videos, and her style is a lot like mine, except she's a lot better. Um, she, she actually she goes into a lot of research and presents it. She presents a whole very professional package. Um, but she talks about symbolism a lot, and does a lot of, interpreting what things are up. Oh, Faye Fire's here. Hey, Aaron, what's up? I love that you popped in just as I'm going on about you. Um, yeah, her videos are fantastic, and she's going to be joining me for an episode soon. But she had some great things to say about this episode. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Nina. Thank you very much, though. I appreciate it. Um, but she had some really awesome things to say about this episode that were kind of fascinating. Um, Aaron, do you have any interest in popping in for a second? If not, that's fine. You don't have to. But um, anyway, yeah. There was a lot of oh, I just found Faye's channel recently. Whoops. I just found Faye's channel recently. Great work. Yeah, yeah, really fascinating stuff. Totally up my alley. If you're really into like the super analytical and deep theorizing and symbolism and everything, you'll enjoy it. But there she talked a little bit about she mentioned, the what Lottie was talking about with the queen bees stinging the other queens, and um it's very interesting that Lottie is having these visions again that she clearly hasn't had for a while. She's having them again when Natalie shows up. So that's kind of fascinating. Um, and, we'll definitely oh, I'm in the middle of making dinner. We have company. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. I don't wanna, I don't wanna say too much phase videos, but, I, I just go checking them out. Just, uh, just take my word for it, go check it out because 'cause they're so fascinating. Um, just, like, one of the greatest things that I found so far in a while. Um, but oh, hey, Jem, what's up? Um, yeah, please do keep the videos coming. They're so good. Lexi, what's up? Um, if anybody wants to pop in and say and address the stream or anything, you don't have to you can pop on for a minute, you can stay for the whole show. It's up to you. We could have 5 people on screen talking at once. It's fine. You're awesome too. Um, I'm posting a link in the chat. Feel free to use it. And if you want to come on stream, don't worry. You can just sit backstage for a while and um, until I bring you on. And if you change your mind and decide you don't want to pop on, you could just take your butt right out and nobody will even know you were backstage in the studio. So, but if you feel like coming on, please do so. I was so happy to have Jade pop on last week. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, these live after shows are just really laid back, so it's kind of a free for all. Um, but yeah, I'm worried for Ben. I think a lot of us are. I mean, god damn. If I wasn't at work, I'd be down. My coworker is finally caught up. We've been yakking oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm yakking about Yellowjackets all day, every day, pretty much. My husband is, I think, a little annoyed with me, but that's why I have a show, right? Um, but poor Ben. Yeah, I know. What do you guys think about the fact that I mean, I thought he was just kind of, imagining what if scenarios and having just memories about Paul, but what was up with the glitching? That was I feel I feel like the glitching kind of gave off a feeling that he's kind of fading in and out and he's not going to be around much longer. He may be starving to death at this point. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice if I mean, are they gonna eat the birds? I mean, it'd be nice if somebody shared that with him. But um yeah, Judson, I think you're right. Ben's kinda done what Jackie did and just gave up. Um, but yeah, memory's acting up because he's not been eating. Courtney, I think he has an infection. Oh, that's interesting. Um, the glitching, I think it represents something specific. It feels like it's trying to show us when a character is just losing it completely. Yeah, that's what I feel too. It's definitely it's a lot different than what we've seen before um with the others like Tysa um and others flashing back or imagining things or whatever. Um it definitely gave me a bad feeling. Yeah, I think he's losing it. Would be cool if you start seeing Paul in the cabin. Oh gosh. Oh, we saw the glitch effect in episode 1 briefly with Lottie. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Um Oh, yeah. Robert, I'm really curious about that. Any theories of the scene in the trailer when all the girls run out of the cabin armed with weapons? Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I have no idea what could possibly be going on. Um maybe they I don't know, maybe they did anybody see Natalie there? Maybe Natalie wasn't there with the gun and they saw an animal or something and just all went after it. Um or maybe they're trying to hunt down Travis again. I don't know. Um, Yeah, Judson, I was wondering that too, if they're going after an animal. Um, I've always had a feeling they'll eventually kill a bear. Something about how Ben says a pack of wolves can take down anything if the pack's big enough. Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's real, I think it's a dream. Yeah, that could be it too. I don't know if anybody caught this, but I just happened to catch tonight at the end when they were showing the preview for next week that they listed guest stars, and Peter Gadio was listed, which makes me wonder if there's gonna be, like, a flashback scene with him this season. 'Cause I he didn't pop up in this episode, right? Um, Lexi, what was up with the white moose Natsat? Yeah, yeah, I don't know if that was I don't know if that was a hallucination or what. But, yeah, Fayfire had some interesting thoughts on that for sure. Um, which I don't like I said, I don't wanna go into because you guys should just go check out her channel because it's awesome. But yeah, she put up a video talking a bit about the moose, and it was pretty cool. But I know one thing that a lot of people have been talking about is the, yeah, yeah, Jemima, that's what I'm wondering, if there's gonna be an Adam flashback. Um, Because I don't know. I mean, I thought that, like, when you saw guest actors at the in the end credits, like, I thought they would just show up on the episodes that that actor is in, but clearly he wasn't in this episode. So, I'm wondering if we're going to see him again, or maybe Shauna hallucinates him. Um, yeah, exactly, Lexi, they're really rare. I think I read that there's 30 of them or something. Um Ooh, Jessica. I bet that's the white pelt that will be used for the Antler Queen. That's interesting. Very interesting. I didn't even think about that. Um, Things will go real crazy if she hallucinates Adam and Jackie at the same time. Oh my god. It's kind of weird that he was Yeah, like I mean, I know for bigger characters, sometimes they'll keep them up like for half the season or the entire season. But yeah, it's weird that, you know, he wasn't in this episode, but was credited. So it makes me think that he might be in all of them. I'll have to go back and watch the first 2, watch the end of the first 2 episodes to see if he's mentioned in those. Um, and see what the verdict is, because he may be coming up later. Oh, hey, Art. Good to see you. Um, Maybe the trans woman is the baby. Yeah, a lot of people are thinking that. I actually had a crazy thought that maybe it was Mark slash Jay is the wilderness baby. I mean, he could be about like I mean, I think the actor's in his early 30s. Am I right on that? But I mean, he could play a little younger, I think. Um got credited for his maybe he got credited for the brief shot of his license. Yeah, series regulars are usually the only ones that are credited for episodes they aren't in, like Lauren Ambrose. Guest stars usually only Yeah, that's what I thought. So I thought it was really strange that he was credited for that. Um, Really quick, a couple of things before I go into talking about the rest of the episode with you guys. I am I feel really kind of embarrassed and sorry to do this, but this past week was my birthday, and a lot of people like a lot you'll see that a lot of people sometimes for their birthdays will put up fundraisers. Well, I am being a little selfish this year, um, because I have needed a surgery for like for more than a year now. Um, Thank you, Art. That is basically I'm in pain 24/7, and it's because I have a stimulator that takes away most of my pain, but I took a fall over a year ago and it broke. Um, so it's a simple surgery that will fix it, but I can't afford the deductible. Um, so I'm just doing a fundraiser right now, and people have already donated, which I appreciate so much. Um, but I'm not touching that money. It's staying in a separate account. And so I don't like I'm gonna keep the fundraiser going because I don't want their money going to waste. So Talon says happy belated. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the fundraiser going. If you are, I mean, if you have the means to donate, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. If you can share it, I would appreciate that so much as well. And I just appreciate well wishes as well. Um, the other thing that I wanted to do here, so a while back, um, Justin, if you guys caught my most recent episode, Justin from Out of the Woods podcast joined me to recap Edible Complex. And if you haven't checked out Out of the Woods podcast, it's probably my favorite Yellowjackets podcast, next to my own, of course. But Justin and his co-host Matthew they're just so funny, and they just play off each other so great, and they're just really entertaining. Um, and and they're Australian, so they have cool accents. But um, we did back in January. He joined me for we came across some leaked auditions, not the ones that everybody was talking about last year, but some other ones. And we did some read throughs and recorded them because we wanted to talk about them without, getting the source in trouble. So this week featured one of the scenes that we did. It was the Chop Shop episode, or the Chop Shop scene. The dialogue was a little bit different than the scene that we originally had, but I'm going to bring it up and show you guys, because it was just really fun and silly, and we really enjoyed doing it. And you'll just have to excuse my really bad acting. um, let me just bring it up here really quick. Um, Here it is. Okay, yeah. Don't move. I'm here for my minivan, which was stolen.
Look, lady, I'm sure I don't know anything about a stolen van.
I said don't move.
Well, put that down then.
Would you stop it, please?
Thing is, it's one thing to point a gun at somebody. It's another thing to use it. Come on, I can see your hand shaking. This is so cute, but...
Cute! Sir, I wish I was shaking because I was afraid to kill you. I'm shaking from how much I would love to kill you.
Trust me, you don't have to.
Oh, no, you trust me. I might not look like it, but I've peeled the skin off a human corpse. Have you ever done that? It's not easy. You have to roll the skin over just at the edge to get a good enough grip to pull it taut. Because, people are just always so sweaty when you kill them, and oily, and...
Just take the damn thing. It's rusted as shit anyway. The keys are right here.
Thank you. Don't move. All right. He was trying to channel Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Maybe Elijah Wood is the baby. I think he might be a little too old. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, yes. Can we all love the one-liner Van gets again? You ate her face. My God, like, why does she have to? Oh, I think she traumatized Ty a little bit with that. um, Guys, who's the one with the pink baseball hat? Is that Jen, or is that someone else? Screaming yes, driving home. The chop shop scene might be my favorite adult. Oh my God, I know. Wasn't it great? I have an idea for a shirt that I want to make for our merch store as soon as I get it up. It's going to be double-sided with Shauna holding the gun on one side and then her speech on the back. Screaming yes, driving home. Melissa. Okay, sorry. I keep getting the new girls mixed up. So Melissa. Yeah, so Melissa, the girl with the pink baseball hat, um, she went in at the end with Ty and Shauna. um, and I think Natalie went in, right? I assume she did. Um, and everybody stayed in. So I think Melissa is going to be on kind of on that team. Um, and then, Lottie's crew on the other. But so that'll be cool. Did you guys think it was foreshadowing when Crystal was talking to Misty about her twin and how she likes to think that she's channeling her essence when she's on stage? Um, I thought that was pretty heavy foreshadowing. I Yeah, I don't think Crystal's gonna make it. Um, really is interesting to see the split in the group. Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm wondering what's gonna happen. I love that, is it Sammy Hanratty that was calling them Krusty? Crystal and Misty. I love that name. But yeah, I wonder if Crystal isn't real. I don't think she's real. I don't Yeah, she wasn't in the first season. She's new, but they had a lot of background characters in the first season that just never spoke. Um, and she wasn't one of them, but she's kind of, they're bringing some of those characters forward. And like Akila got recast. So Crystal could be playing, one of those background characters that just got recast. Um, my name is Crystal, and I have a bad feeling she's dead. Yeah, me too. I love Crystal. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people find her annoying, but I love her. She's kind of like she reminds me of me in high school. um, I remember that humming from season 1. Really? Oh, okay. Um, Crystal is like they split young Misty into 2 people, and I'm not loving her addition. Really? Oh, man. I love her. I really enjoy her. Um, yeah, a lot of people like I've actually seen the theory floating around that Crystal isn't real, but no, I mean too many people have acknowledged her existence at this point, I think. Um, but or 12 people around Jackie when I counted. Um, yeah, I think there were even more than that. We actually did a breakdown when we did our crossover with Yellowjackets WTF. We actually did a breakdown of the number of people that were standing around in episode 2 when they did like the little funeral. Um, we did a breakdown of the number of people there compared to the Cannibal Council, which is 8 minus the people that we know have died. Um, so we were kind of trying to figure out how many more because the Cannibal Council was 8 people, but there could still be more people. Like that doesn't necessarily have to be everybody. I mean, Ben could still be alive at that point, and they might be bringing food to him. Really now. I love her. Yeah, me too. I do too. Crystal's so cute and annoying at the same time, but I love her for that. But I really fear for her. Yeah, yeah. I I relate to her so much. She's cute and quirky. And yes, I sing constantly. I'm a human jukebox. And I was a musical theater major. So, um, hey, Mandolin 523. There's also a whole bunch of random background actors into. Oh, yeah, that's right. There are. Um, but yeah, Kaiwan, yeah, the timing is a little weird this season. I'm still kind of confused by it a little bit. But I I I'm like geeking out over Shauna this season. Seriously. Like I mean, young Shauna too. Sophie Nélisse is killing it. But adult Shauna is a fucking disaster. I mean, she was she was completely like, she was a little out there first season, but wow. This season she's just all over the place. Um I think it's time travel. Yeah. I do like the idea of Crystal being Misty's invisible friend. That would be so sad though, because like it would be kind of like, she had to invent an invisible friend because nobody wanted to be her friend. Oh my god, just thinking about that is so depressing. Um what in case you guys didn't see the last our last episode, my crossover with Justin, I just thought I'd show you these for fun. So, we do yearbook superlatives every week, and I'm actually working on putting together a physical yearbook with not just with class pictures, but like a whole bunch of other stuff in them too. Um, so this was the one that I came up with for, oh, wait, hang on. Let me finish. Let me hide my banner here. Um, Yikes. Sorry. Um, Sorry, guys. I'm trying to show you the caption. Um, I don't think it will let me take it off. So anyway, it reads, most likely to assume her ultimate form if she doesn't get her McNuggets. That was mine. And if you don't know what that's in reference to, just um, Google "do not make me assume my ultimate form" and chicken McNuggets, and you'll understand it. It was basically a reference to her with the ashwagandha and the what was the other thing? I can't remember. And this was Justin's pick, Travis Martinez. And her quote was, "I asked for ashwagandha." And Justin's was Travis Martinez, most likely to keep several sex therapists in business. And the quote was, "You can't even tell what her favorite book is." I just want to show you that, guys, that we have a lot of fun with that. Um, Shauna Antler Queen twist. I've been seeing I've been seeing the theory that the Antler Queen could be multiple people. And I'm kind of starting to wonder if that's a possibility. Like if it kind of, there's kind of a cycle. And I can't remember who I talked to about this recently, but I also kind of wondered if that's why Misty was smiling at the end of the first episode, because maybe she did something that like made her think that she was going to be the next queen. Um, I think it's funny that Jeff's idea of spontaneous is churning butter. That poor guy, he's trying so hard. But oh my god, the scene with him and Kevin though cracked me up. He was such a gym bro. I'm still using it. And what was up with the sleeveless Wisconsin High baseball hoodie? um, Forest Spring Misty, a real love. Yeah, maybe. Love the yearbook. Thank you. Maybe they all shared it at one time. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. But but yeah, which kind of actually makes it even more interesting to think about the moose appearing to Natalie, and the Antler Queen is wearing the white pelt. Um, Colonial Williamsburg is not Strawberry Jeff. No, it's not. You gotta try a little bit harder than that. I love that strawberry lube. I love that he basically said that he owes his entire identity to strawberry lube. Like, I just, some things maybe you should just not say out loud. Poor guy. I think he's lacking in confidence. Um, I think low key it's Nat because no one thinks it's her. Yeah, but you know what though? And I seem to be the only one who thinks this. I've not come across one other person that thinks this. I I still think Natalie is the one that's standing on the edge of the pit in the beginning. I can't even imagine it being anybody else. Um, I really think that's her. And I I don't I mean, I think that it's possible that she could be that she could be an antler queen at some point if they're all like, switching it off. But yeah, the idea of them kind of switching back and forth is uh is kind of appealing to me more now. I didn't really take it seriously before, but it's appealing to me more now than it was before. Um Real quick, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you could do so, that would be wonderful. Also, I've been getting review bombed like crazy. I think I'm now the worst rated Yellowjackets podcast on iTunes, which I which I actually take as a compliment because for reasons I won't get into. But it's still really annoying because ratings aren't supposed to really affect your show, but I mean, it does kind of affect people wanting to check out your show, and I think that's why I've been really slipping in the charts lately. So if you guys could please, if you listen to the show on iTunes or if you have iTunes, um, if you could please take a moment to rate the show 5 stars if you think that's what it deserves, and a written review would be awesome too. But, yeah, it would I was at 5 stars before, before I started getting review bombed, and now I'm like 3 point something. Um, but, yeah, okay, yeah, the 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 goth thing, um, yeah, bisexuals and goths. Um, I mean, he married Shauna. Like, I don't think, Shauna doesn't exactly scream goth girl, but she, she could definitely get down with some Cure for sure. Um, and I'm sorry, they're all bisexual as far as I'm concerned. Except for Ty and Van. Um, I think it's Ty, the Antler Queen. Yeah. Yeah, it's it's interesting. So, did you guys notice though that Ty called Jessica in this episode? Um, so I was wondering when Jessica was gonna come up. Clearly she's not gonna be able to get a hold of her. And, I'm wondering when that's all gonna come up. But I have a feeling that somebody is gonna get framed because they can't just let the Jessica thing drop. And, they've got the Adam thing to deal with. So the only way I can see them dealing with this is if they kill two birds with one stone and frame somebody for both of their deaths. Um, which I was thinking was going to be I was originally thinking that they were gonna try to frame either Lottie or Walter for their deaths. But it's possible that it's possible that they could push one of them to next season, but I don't know. I don't see them dealing with both of them. I don't see both deaths being heavily investigated this season unless they try to tie them together and make it look like the same thing. Like my recent theory is that Adam was obsessed with and stalking Shauna. Um excuse me, I'm losing my voice. But and that they would find something that would make it look like Shauna killed Adam in self-defense. But which I still think is I still really like that theory more than anything. But I I think it's possible that they could pin Jessica's death on Adam somehow too, if that's the case. And, and then that's just another case of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Um, I think Elijah Woods is connected to Jessica. Um, I mean, anything's possible in this show, right? Do I think Walter is connected to Jessica somehow? Well, here's the thing. Walter is obviously fascinated by Misty. And they were clearly kind of, checking each other out. Um, I mean, investigatively, from an investigative standpoint. Um, I mean, I'm kind of wondering if he was spying on her at all, then he probably knew about Jessica. Um, so I'm not trusting anything right now that's going on with Jessica. I mean, with Walter or Misty, especially after tonight, because there was so much foreshadowing for everything, and the whole thing about, about Crystal talking to Misty about how, she said something like, "We're all made of lies," and, she talked about being somebody else, and I think, and Misty really got off on that performance, and she, I mean, they were all kind of laughing at her at first, but then by the time it ended, they were all, really moved by it, and she clearly enjoyed that. Um, so I think that's kind of, a heavy hint that she can't we can't trust anything we see from Misty. Um, I have great expectations shipping them. Yes. Yeah, that was the Great Expectations was the name of Walter's boat, if you didn't see that. Um, Christina Ricci and Elijah Wood feel like the couple I've been waiting my whole life for. Yeah, yeah, well, at least Misty and Walter. I mean, they're hilarious together, and I love that he that she met him wearing shorts so she could check out his calves. Um, I would be surprised if Ben was secretly still alive in present day. Yeah, think I really don't think he's gonna make it. Um, oh, hey, Mandolin 523, fancy seeing you here. Oh, cool. Glad some of you guys know each other. Um, maybe reveals in season 3 for other people still alive. Gosh. Yeah, I don't know. But it's funny because this season we're only 3 episodes in and they've already shot half of my theories to hell. Um, Walter's player, he knows all about her, and when Misty finds out, she will kill him. Also, how long has Jessica been dead? No one has said anything. Jessica's only been dead for a day or 2. I don't know. Um, I mean, because if you think was episode 1 or episode oh yeah, it was episode 1. I'm sorry. And I get confused because of the early viewings of the episodes. So I'm all confused. Yeah, so episode 1, we saw that um Simone had confronted Ty about the altar. And so that clearly had just happened. And they kind of picked up the adult timeline picked up right from where they left off. The 96 timeline did not, because then they skipped a couple of months in that timeline, and then with this timeline, um, they there was no time jump whatsoever. So yeah, Jessica. No one knows Jessica's dead yet because that just happened, probably a day or 2 ago. Um, sorry. Is Walter connected to that other detective from last year? Yeah, Jessica. That's what we were wondering. Or are you talking about Kevin? No, I don't think he's connected with Kevin at all. Um, but, he might be casing out Jessica. I fell in love with him so easy, but it seems too good to be true. I like the theory that he's going to be her second gay unrequited heartbreak. Right? Yeah. I mean, he's definitely like fixated on her, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's, like a romantic thing. Um, oh, hey 70. Hey y'all, just saying hi before heading to bed. Can't wait to see what everyone has to say on the rewatch. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Um, Also, guys, anybody who's watching, make sure you comment in the live chat to up your chances for the varsity the Letterman jacket giveaway. And um I am going to I'm going to try something else too. I'm really trying to cuz the universe is totally working against me right now. Um so I'm trying to think of like kind of creative ways to get my channel seen because I need a lot of help at the moment. Um, so when this is over at some point during the week, if you could pop into the regular chat and I'm gonna give you guys, let's see here. What should I give you? I'm just scrolling. Um, if you guys could comment on not the live chat, but the regular chat with a palm tree. So I know you were watching the live stream. And then I'll put that on my entry sheet, my entry tracker. Uh Jacket. There were themes of life choices, decisions throughout this episode. Ben with Paul, Lisa and her fork, Jeff and strawberry lube. Yeah. What regular chat? I by that I mean not the live chat right now, but when the episode actually gets loaded up onto YouTube, the live chat is in the corner, but it won't show up like in the comments. So that's what I mean, not the regular chat, the comments. So once the video is, once the stream is done, once the video is loaded up on YouTube, um, if you could just leave a comment at some point during the week with a palm tree emoji. Um, and Yeah, I'll give it to you. Since you're here. Can it be any kind of tree? Yes, but preferably a palm tree just because 'cause it'll be easier to keep track of. Um, I'll give you guys a different emoji, and that'll give you, like, an extra entry into the, into the, uh into the drawing, but I'll make a note that you might be putting a different kind of tree. I save the live chats so I can see everything that I can see everybody that was here and everybody who participated in the chat and everything. All of the trees. Yes. So glad I found your channel. I don't know anybody else that watches the show. Surprising. Oh no! And I'm always looking to chat about it after. Oh no, oh God, I'm so sorry. That's awful. That's how I felt when I first started watching it. I was like, I was trying to find people online talking about it. And I mean, I started watching it right away. Well, after when they aired the second episode. And it was just, you know, social media was still really dead. So it was so annoying. And that's part of the reason why I started a podcast because I needed to talk about the show with somebody. um okay, so who here thinks that the dripping that Mari heard is foreshadowing of her being Pit Girl? um Same, got one of my coworkers into it a couple of months ago, finally. Um, yeah, I'm trying to get more people into it. Um, I'm actually when this season is over, I'm actually starting a Wentworth podcast. Speaking of getting people into shows, if you guys haven't seen the show Wentworth, highly recommend it. It's fucking amazing. It's an Australia women's prison show. Really dark. It's really fucked up. I mean, the Yellowjackets characters are all pretty unhinged, but I mean, with Wentworth, you're literally like you're rooting for a character the week after they tried to kill your favorite character. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Um, and I'm actually going to be starting that after this season. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm going to keep with the Queens theme, I think, and I'm going to call it H Block Queens. Um I love shows that you can extend to between episodes with discussion. Yeah, like I can't a lot of people are really good with like putting up regular content during the week and talking about little points here and there. I prefer to save them all up for like kind of longer deep dive episodes in between seasons because I just can't. That's a lot. I just can't. Like, I'm not the type who is jazzed about the idea of sitting down and doing videos every day. I just can't do that. Um, Fucking love that show. Oh, awesome! Yay! So you'll have to check out the Wentworth podcast when we start it. I seen that show on Netflix. Oh, there's a lot of seasons. So if you haven't watched it, it's not on anymore. And the reason that I'm doing a podcast about it is because they're like I remember looking for a Wentworth podcast back in 2014 and there were none. Um, and so I actually considered starting one back then. There are Wentworth podcasts now, but none of them cover the whole series. I mean, I think the most seasons that any of the podcasts cover are like two seasons. Um, and that's it. But like there are Wentworth cons still. I mean, so so yeah, I plan to cover all 9 seasons. Let's hope that happens. But yeah, there's 9 seasons total. So it's a lot, but oh my god, it's so good. So good. Like edge of your seat stuff. Wentworth, the better orange is the new black, right? Yeah, I mean I loved Orange is the New Black, but oh my god, Wentworth, so good. Frankie. Yeah, my Kaz was my favorite. Kaz just absolutely ripped my heart out. What's the chances of another plane crashing with a new group of people and the Yellowjackets becoming hunters? Yeah, I thought about that too. I mean, we saw the thing with the birds and the compass being erratic. I mean, I think that's possible that, they're like iron deposits or whatever kind of mineral deposits could be messing with things. And I mean, it would be weird if like there were no other plane crashes and suddenly there's two big plane crashes within a couple of years. But it's possible. I mean, I definitely don't rule it out. I think it's a good theory. Um I love watching recaps so I can find all the stuff I missed. I go all in on the show. Yeah, I do too. I don't watch anybody else's except for like I watch Faye Fires because hers are a lot different. They're more about analytical and kind of examining the symbolism and stuff. Um but I don't like I watch so many different Yellow Jackets recap shows and listen to a bunch of different podcasts, but I won't do it until after I've covered whatever episode they're talking about because I don't want to be influenced, you know what I mean? Um and I'd rather just if there is I mean, I don't want to be I I'm not going to steal anybody else's points if they have good points. But I also don't really want to be like, yeah, so and so said this. I'd rather just tell you to go check out their channel or their podcast because you should. If they have good points, you should go check out their content. Um, I think that area is like a Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember Courtney. I remember you saying that before. Yeah, I when Laura Lee's plane exploded, The first thing I thought of was Cabin in the Woods. Um, that's what, uh, that's what it reminded me of. Uh, Straw Dog 78. I've been totally thinking about that for a couple of weeks now. Yeah, yeah, it would be cool. It would definitely be cool. Misty could totally destroy as many transmitters as her little heart desires. Just bring all the plane crashes to the woods, and Misty can just go nuts on them. Um, was gonna watch the episode 3 times, but I didn't get a chance to do that. This was actually, I was really surprised when people were saying they weren't that crazy about the episode because this was actually the first episode where I watched it again immediately. Um, like I said, it was slower paced, but it was I mean, it was so fascinating. Um, Second crash would be a good way for them to be found. Yeah, yeah, actually it would. Shout out Bayfire. Thank you, and I feel you. We love symbolism. I know. I love reading way too much into stuff. Um, Wait, hang on a second. I won't post here for those who don't want spoilers, but did anybody watch that interview with young and old Shauna where young Shauna clearly slipped and gave a spoiler about about something? I did not, but I wouldn't be mad if you I would not be mad if you emailed me or messaged me on with it because I'm kind of curious now. Um ah where is my where are my here's my yeah, there's my social media handles and you can always email me to it at antlerqueenspodcast@gmail.com. Uh Maybe there's a plane crash from the '70s that came down, and the man in the cabin is somebody from that place. Well, I think that was his plane, but it, but yeah, it's possible that there could I mean, there were other people in the area, I am positive of it, because I think that there's underground mines there. Um, Bayfire, I'll be live streaming with Mandolin, 5:23 tomorrow at 12 Eastern. Come check it out. Yeah, make a note of it, everybody. I will probably not be able to watch it live because I'm actually recording tomorrow as well. And I'm just like I don't really have very good sitting tolerance, so I kind of have to um take it easy on recording days. So much happened though. Yeah, I know. Um Oh, okay. Yeah, Robert Patterson. I oh no, shoot. I was gonna see if I could hide your comment. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, Robert mentioned what the spoiler was at 9:51 p.m. So just ignore if you don't want spoilers, just ignore that comment from from him. But if you do want spoilers, go make sure you go check out his comment. I won't put it up on the screen just in case you don't want to, just in case people don't want to be spoiled. Kelly, if you want to come on, you're more. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. Yeah, I would love to. I'm just gonna be worn out, and I'm gonna be just on my butt tomorrow, working, preparing for the episode. And but if it's if it's available on YouTube right away, if it's not a subscriber thing, if it's like actually available, I might be able to watch it on TV. So yeah, I will make a note to check it out because I always forget that I can watch YouTube on my TV. Um, which I do a lot, so I don't know why I keep forgetting that I can do that. I wanna know if Ty did the symbol on Simone to protect her or hurt her. I mean, I don't think she has any I don't even think Bad Ty has but well, I mean, Bad Ty isn't Ty though. Um, I mean, when she was Fugue Ty, she even referred to her to Thaisa in the third person. But who is Fugue Tai? That brings up another completely different question. But so, I mean, it's possible. It's possible that, Tai could have bad intentions, that Fugue Tai could have bad intentions for Simone. Obviously, regular Tai wouldn't because, regular Tai clearly loves her. I can't wait to find out how they were rescued. I know. I am so eager for that. Grown up Shauna seemed so much like young Shauna in this episode, especially when she disarmed the carjacker. You know what? That's interesting that you brought that up, Straw Dogs, because I was thinking when young Shauna was talking to Lottie in the cabin towards the beginning of the episode about how scared she was and about how she really about how she wanted to eat Jackie. She reminded me so much of Melanie Linsky as adult Shauna. Um, Opinions, is the symbol evil or protection? I think it could be both. Um, if you guys haven't seen it, uh, Jade was my guest co-host for an episode that we did on the symbol. We also talked about Robert Hansen in that episode too, and whether or not we thought uh, that there might be some inspiration with the man who we refer to as Cabin Daddy, if he may have been inspired by Robert Hansen at all. Um, I didn't. Halfway to somewhere. My email is antlerqueenspodcast@gmail.com. Yes, it's sort of what Robert said, but I can find the exact explanation she gave. Wow, I can't believe she did that. That's crazy. Um, yes, we have all season and the in-betweens. Guys, I'm gonna do after season 2, I mentioned I'm gonna be doing the Wentworth podcast, but I am still gonna keep up with the Antler Queens in between seasons too, in between seasons as well. I did deep dives on all of the characters with my ex co-hosts last summer, and I definitely plan to do those again. Obviously, I'm going to want to do them for Lottie and Van since we will have now seen their adult counterparts. But I'm really excited to do one for Shauna because we know her so much better now than we did last season. So that one's going to be fun. um, it also has to do with the convo adult Lottie and Nat having her commune about the queen. Ooh! I'm excited now. Sorry, I actually really kind of enjoy spoilers. I know that's awful for somebody that has a podcast, or it probably is. I don't know. Um, she wants Sammy for sacrifice. I kid. Hey, man, we don't know the lengths of the extent of evil that we're dealing with Fugue Tai. We really don't know anything about Fugue Tai. Um, is she is she the I actually thought for a minute like maybe her grandmother was a really bad person or something, and Fugue Tai is possessed by the spirit of her grandmother or something. I don't know. Her grandmother seems so sweet and cute though. I would have a hard time believing that. Um I feel like it's all connected. Fugue Tai, Noi Man, and the symbol. I think there might be more than one. Um, Ty's grandma wouldn't have been scared if No Eyed Man was friend, right? Um, maybe Ty absorbed her evil twin in the womb. Yes, I like that. I like that explanation. Did anyone else notice current Shauna put the gun in her jacket pocket the same way that past her put Jackie's ear in her pocket? No, I did not. But that's solid. That's solid cohesiveness between the actors. That's really cool. Courtney, I definitely think he was inspired by him. Cabin Daddy, meaning Cabin Daddy, being inspired by Robert Hansen. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Sorry, I'm a big Jesus Christ Superstar fan. See, I told you I was like Crystal. Um, so would Ty be the reason for them to end up in the wilderness and for the plane to crash? I don't think Ty would have anything to do with that. I think that there's definitely see that the birds the whole thing with the birds was really interesting because again, and I can't remember who mentioned it that um something could have messed with their navigation. So practical there are potentially practical explanations for everything as well as supernatural. So they're just giving us even more to think about. Um Dan is my fave. I will be anxiously waiting for that. Yeah, I all last season, Natalie and Ty were my favorites, but God, I just love Van so much this season, and I'm such a big Lauren Ambrose fan. That yeah, I think Van is becoming my favorite. Oh yes, thank you. Is it Deniso? Don't forget to throw out some likes, chat. Yes, thank you. If you could throw some likes on the YouTube, that would be awesome. Um, am I ever gonna do a girls podcast? Um, no, it's there. To be honest, there aren't really that many shows that I watch just because I don't have that much time. Um, but everything that I watch for the most part has to be somewhat messed up because that's just what I like. I like messed up shows. Um, but unless it's like, well, it's always sunny in Philadelphia is messed up too. But that's funny and messed up. Um, but yeah, like I think the only plans that I have right now, because I want to start a disability podcast. That's really important to me. So that's definitely on my agenda too. That and Wentworth. Obviously, I'm going to continue with the Antler Queens, and possibly I have been talking with somebody about a Handmaid's Tale podcast too, but I'm not sure where we're at with that one. It's a lot, so but it'll be something fun to do in between seasons of Yellowjackets while I'm in between my deep dives and stuff for Antler Queens. And the disability podcast is just going to be like I plan on just having that be short little episodes. Halfway to somewhere says I'll email you, I promise. Um, I'm convinced she will hurt or lull someone in her fugue state. Kill, kill someone. Um, I keep going back to the conversation that she had with Shauna when she was sleeping over at her house. And she was talking about how Simone didn't make her feel it anymore. And that if anybody made her feel it, it wasn't going to be good for anybody. And Shauna said, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. So I'm really curious as to what that means. I think her grandmother saw her and the perception is not authentic. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know what to think about that because I still don't think that Ty really knows that she's seeing this no-eyed man. I mean, Van mentioned it to her tonight in tonight's episode, and she asked her who's she asked her about the no-eyed man. She's like, "Who's the no-eyed man?" or whatever. And it looked like Thaisa was having that memory. She was like thinking about being in her grandmother's room when she saw it. I think that might have been her remembering for the first time because she's not conscious. Um, so, I had no reason to believe before that she even knew that she was seeing the no-eyed man. But it's interesting now that in this episode, regular Ty seemed to acknowledge him for the first time. So that'll be interesting to see what happens after that. Um, Theory, after the spoiler thing happens, the unlucky girl runs away, and that's who they were chasing in the season 2 trailer. Yeah, um, I think it's gonna be Mari. She kept hearing the dripping. I think that's a sign. Um, Adult Ty makes a huge point to say, "You don't know anything about me." Oh god, remind me who did she say that to? Because I'm remembering it, but I'm also kind of forgetting it now. I totally forgot who she said that to. Um, it was Fugue Ty that broke Allie's leg in the pilot. That's a really good theory. That's something that I hadn't heard before or thought about. But she said this started when they were in the wilderness, but she also said that she never intended to hurt Allie that badly. Like she it was a total accident. So it could have been it could have been. I think that's a good possibility. Um Nita Wallace, it really hinged on Jackie winning the game in the pilot. I have a pet theory about that. Ooh, I would like to hear that. Um Oh, she was saying it to Misty. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Um I had that evil in her when she broke the girl's leg during the soccer game. Um Oh my gosh, if you post it somewhere, I would love to read it. That is such a great connection. Yeah, same. I would like to read it too. That would be an interesting read. Straw Dogs, if you want to email that to me at antlerqueenspodcast.com or even send it to me on social media if you're on social media too. That would be cool. Maybe the grandmother passed it on. Yeah. Are you watching Severance? I started this and Severance at the same time and was dying for more mysteries after. I didn't realize that Severance was a mystery. And I just heard that, and so now I'm gonna have to check it out. Um, Girls was so kind of a ripoff of Sex in the City, but more intellectual. Um, yeah, I mean, I've heard great things about Girls. I've heard it's a great show. It just um yeah, I tend to stick to really messed up stuff. She also said to Shauna, "You know how bad it can get." Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, I think it has something to do with slavery in our family's bloodline. Really? Okay. That's definitely something interesting to think about. Um, a disability podcast that may apply to me. Do you know what type of topics you may want to cover? I'll keep an eye out. Um, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, get in touch with me halfway to somewhere. I'm definitely interested in having people on. Um, sorry, I'm just putting my little ticker back on. I'm going to be covering disability issues, mental health, and kind of like society's attitudes toward it. Um, so it's yeah, I'm looking for people. I'm especially interested in having people on who are well, I'm interested in talking to anybody about disability related issues or mental health issues. Um, but and especially people that have faced discrimination because of them. But I'm especially interested in having on people who have disabilities or mental health issues and um, are also trans or have spent time in prison because there is a lot of discrimination against both of those groups, and it's a weird type of discrimination that has a lot in common with disability. And when you get into the intersectionalism of it all, there's a lot of layers, and so that's something I'm really interested in exploring. Um, I think they are chasing the white moose. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, if they're chasing something that big, they would need a lot of people and weapons to hunt it down. Not my Mari. Yeah. Yeah, I think the dripping was I don't know. I think that was foreshadowing. Um, I'm sorry to say it, but I really do. She said it in the car to her assistant during the election. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that now. Um, yeah, Bethany, her campaign manager, Bethany, who she was originally supposed to be married to instead of Simone, FYI. Um, oh, it's a mindfuck mystery. Oh, good. Yeah, I'll have to check out Severance for sure. There's so many shows that I need to check out. I still want to finish The Midnight Club. It's just, um, The Midnight Club is kind of, I started it a little while ago, and it's just a fun show. It has kind of a nostalgic feel to it. Um, Natalie also said it's only, yeah, it is going to get worse. Take Crystal. I think Crystal's gonna go too, but you know, give her some extra time, man. Give my girl Crystal some extra time. I'm not ready to see her go. I want to see her sing and hum some more because I love her. She's I would be best friends with her. Out of everybody in that group, Crystal and I would be girls. Um, yes, protect Crystal at all costs. I love her so much. Um, So what I'm just still so fascinated about, um how sorry, I'm like my mind is kind of, flipping from subject to subject. How great was it to see Randy tonight? That scene was so fantastic. Um, Misty was like, "Hit him, hit him." I was dying. Um, Midnight Club was nostalgic from the books, but so depressing. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but I'm kind of enjoying it. Yeah, Randy getting slapped. I also appreciate in Midnight Club that Heather Langenkamp is in it. Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, Randy getting slapped. That was oh my god, that was so funny. Because like I was pleasantly surprised to see him because I follow Jeff Holman on social media and I talk to him every once in a while, and I did not think he was filming at all. So I was really happy to see him. He's so funny. Um, I saw a theory that there is another baby, and that Shauna's baby boy was given up as a sacrifice. Um, yeah, I don't know that that baby's gonna make it. Um, what if Lisa is Nat and Travis's daughter? I was just about to mention that too. Lisa is Nat and Travis's daughter, who they gave up because they were unable to care for her, and now Lottie brought her into the cult. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be nuts? Um, Randy abuse. Poor Randy, but it was fun to watch. Um, yeah, if something goes south, his lawyer had instructions. Out on the water, Randy. Um, yeah, I love the thing. He was like trying to tell him was he trying to tell him they were in on international waters? Just like they're docked. It's hilarious. Um, and she's like the next queen bee or whatever. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm really fascinated by the fact that Lottie starts having visions again after Nat shows up. That's super fascinating. Randy is really an antler queen. Yes. Yes, I would like to see that. Um, what did, we had a funny theory about Randy last year that we kept tossing around as a joke, and I can't remember what it was now. Um, it's weird. Lottie was calling Sean. Oh yeah, yeah, and I noticed that like I think one or two of the other girls were referring to the baby as he too. So they're really buying into Lottie stuff. Randy was so ready to rat out Jeff though, right? Um, yeah. I love that they all drank the Fanta. Um, but were they drinking orange Fanta or there's grape Fanta too, right? So were they drinking grape Fanta or were they drinking orange Fanta because they're all obsessed with Lottie? Um, I think Lottie is getting her visions again because of the Travis incident. Yeah, I think that's a good possibility too. Because I have a lot of feelings about and I talked about that in my most recent episode too about um I'm not buying Lottie's story about Travis at all. I think that she was more complicit than she let on. Um and I think yeah, I don't know. But it's just it's interesting that she was, she was going on about to Natalie about the, the queens stinging all the other queens to death, and then she finds all of those dead bees. It was really fascinating, and I was really proud of myself because I I actually remembered some French from high school because when the woman said, "Beau de sang" at the end, "He wants blood," I recognized it right away, so I was pretty proud of myself. Um, what, that was I that was really sweet. I'm just reading through my notes here that I've been making, um, for my show tomorrow, and, I'm just going back through them, and I'm just thinking about how sweet it was that Natalie actually volunteered to take Jackie's remains to the plane. I think also maybe she just wanted to get away from everybody and just kinda be by herself for a little bit, but that was kinda sweet because Jackie wasn't totally awesome to her. Um, is that what she said? Yeah, she said he wants blood, but that's what Lottie was hearing. She actually asked her if she was joining them for lunch, but Lottie heard her say he wants blood. Anybody watched My So-Called Life from the 90s? There's this character named Tino that always comes up in conversation, just like Randy. I loved My So-Called Life. That was totally my generation. So I was obsessed with that show when it came out, and I was so sad when it got canceled. Um, my friends would come over and we'd watch it together. It was so much fun. Um, I did anybody notice that the we actually got a name for Lottie's wellness center. It's Morning Glory Wellness Center. Surprised it's not like what are the flowers that they're using? Because Morning Glory, I just immediately think of the flowers, Morning Glory flowers. What are the flowers that they're using again to make the clothing? I can't remember. Heliotrope. I'm surprised it's not like Heliotrope Wellness Center. Nostalgia, yeah. Um, what if Lottie sacrificed Travis to the darkness? That's what I'm thinking because there's so much stuff that just doesn't add up. Um, I mean, like the whole thing with Laura Lee was weird, and why why would Travis leave his bank account information unless A, he knew that he was going to die, um, or like and why would he leave it for Lottie? So I have a feeling like it may have started out that way, um, but I don't know. I feel like Lottie may have gotten him to give her his bank account information because I can't like I don't know. I don't understand. So much of it is just isn't adding up. Not sure if I missed it, but what did you think of the new timeline? Um, are you are you talking about the 98 timeline? Yeah, I wanna see more of that for sure. Um, I'm interested in seeing more of the rescue and the post-rescue, and I wanna see their families. We actually I just got a mention, um, last week for the first time about, no, actually, there was a mention about Shauna's parents before, I think, so never mind. Um, Jordan Catalano, my first crush, right? Yeah, yeah, he was, I will always think of him as Jordan Catalano. The interaction I want most right now is adult Lottie and Shauna, right? I feel that would give so much insight into what their power dynamic was at the end of their wilderness day. Yeah, I'm really curious about that too. And Claire also, yeah. I don't think Travis was tripping. I think he told Lottie something that threatened her. That's possible. Just out of curiosity, is there anything to the number 25? Because with the anniversary of the crash coming up, yeah, I keep wondering that myself too. I mean, it's there's they got together for the 25th reunion. Um, I you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm starting to think about Allie again and how insistent she was on getting everybody at the 25th reunion. So, like, I wonder if I wonder if we're gonna see her again and she's gonna have some weird intentions up her sleeve. Um, why does this bank account matter so much? Was he rolling in the dough or something? There's definitely something related to the actual money. Yeah, I don't understand it. There's stuff isn't adding up. Um, when they were rescued. Oh yeah. Also, do you think Crystal is real? No, I definitely think Crystal's real. Um, but sorry, I'm losing my comments. Um, that comment about the crazies coming out and yes, Allie, 25 years. That's pay dirt, right? she was she was really insistent upon that. Um, I think Ellie, like, I think she feels that she missed out in a way. There was kind of an alternate timeline with Ben. It was weird how they edited it. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier with the I was trying to figure out what was with the glitches because it seemed to indicate something different from the other flashbacks that we've seen. Um, when Ty gets into office, they should do a puff piece of her being in the crash and overcoming for people to draw attention to them. Oh, maybe not in a good way. Um, yeah, I mean, it would be good, but I'm wondering if there would be, if there would be some kind of ramifications to that. Like if somebody would be like, that's not what happened, and there's something more sinister that you people need to know about. Um, like he wanted to rewind his life. Yeah, that's possible. Part of me wishes they just showed us all the wilderness stuff and then how everyone turned out after. We don't have any idea what their dynamic was by the end. So certain, I would love to see. I would love to see what happened right after they were rescued. If any of them stayed in touch right away. I'm curious about Natalie and Travis. If um, did they break up in the wilderness? Were they together when they left? I don't think Ty and Van were together. Um, but yeah, I'm curious as to see, like, did Shauna and Thaisa, like, did they always stay in touch? And then why did it seem like they were like secretly in touch? Um, or if Allie knows anything, because we still don't know the total of girls saved, I think. Yeah, I know. We don't. Um, yeah, good night, Kaiwan. Thank you so much for stopping by. Someone spilled, right? Yeah. Um, don't have quite the same as if we knew all the story, but I love the adult stories regardless. They're just less fleshed out. Yeah. Yeah, I do too. See, I'm interested in both timelines actually because I'm so interested in the long-term effects of trauma, and that's something that we don't really see very often. Um, so it's interesting. Well, I think Lottie has schizophrenia, and with her pills running out, she has found her beliefs to be better for her life path. Truly, she sees what she sees and believes it. I think that's very likely. She, she's found her way of dealing with it. She doesn't have meds. Um, and I mean, a lot of times people just need to cling to something, and if that was keeping her going, then, that's what she needed to believe. Um, Glitches may indicate hallucination. Yeah, that's possible. But wasn't VHS the recording of the time DVDs were just starting? Yeah. Yeah, DVDs I think started getting popular around, like, 2000. Um, I think this will be one of the most rewatchable shows due to the past and present timelines and how they interact with one another. Yeah, for sure. Um, agree, I want the whole wilderness experience. A lot can happen in 25 years. Oh my god, laser discs. I totally forgot about those. Yeah, I remember, back when shopping malls were a thing, and Suncoast Video always had, like, that big laser disc section. Um, yeah, definitely the glitches and rewind editing parts were more shown. I noticed them too and was wondering if they were as prevalent before. I don't think they were. Ooh, I have a theory that there's a point in time where they had the option to be rescued but didn't take it. When they finally got rescued, it wasn't a choice. I've always felt like the rescue doesn't go down like you would typically think it would. Like there's some resistance or someone gets left behind or something. I don't think it was totally I've never felt like it was gonna be a totally smooth rescue. Nat and people from the past showing up. That's exactly where my mind went to too. Yeah, Nat and people from the past showing up triggers her into hallucinating again. Exactly. Um, Straw Dogs, the big laser discs. Yeah, I remember those. I binged the whole thing in the last week. Wow. Good for you, Chloe. Um, Although they don't have a lot of episodes, but still, good job. Was it kind of confirmed in season 1 that Ty was the woman in the tree to her son? I have so many questions. Yeah. Yeah, that was confirmed. This will have a great rewatch value. I even went back and did season 1 knowing how it ended, and I loved it. Yeah, I've been doing that too, and it's really interesting now that we know more about them. Um, After their rescue, they make a pact not to talk because they have committed murder out there and gotten away with it. Yeah, I think there's definitely some dark stuff that we're gonna find out soon. Um, my pet theory is that some Lottie black magic will allow Ty, Shauna, and Nat to rewind their lives and throw the game in the pilot. Wouldn't that be fascinating? I love alternate timeline stuff. I love that stuff. Um, Suncoast was so much fun to visit. I know, right? Uber Lord of the Flies, but more violent. Yeah. Um, how many seasons are they hoping to make? I know they were planning on 5. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, as long as it stays the same quality, as long as it doesn't degrade in quality, I'll keep watching it. I wonder if after they got rescued, they just brought them straight to a mall for clothes because of those promo pics. I was wondering about that too, but those photos were kind of weird. Um, I didn't quite understand what was going on there. It didn't really look right. Will Steve survive? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh god, I'm nervous for him. I hope I don't know why she wouldn't just give Steve to Simone. Um the creator said 5 seasons approximately, but it could be earlier. They won't drag it out. um but it won't be, oh no, not earlier. No, I think it's good though that they're keeping the season short. Um they're not, they're not like they're not overextending themselves, which is good. And it also helps it's an original story. Um my last big show that I was into was The Walking Dead, which was 11 seasons and was based on a comic book, and they just dragged it out way too much, and it was bad. It should have lasted like 6 seasons. Um, but guys, if you just a reminder, if you could please like the video on YouTube and please subscribe. I'm only a few hundred away from 1,000 subscribers, and then I can monetize. Yay! And hopefully start getting some sponsors and stuff. That would be awesome. But yeah, if you could just like and subscribe and leave a review on iTunes if you get a chance, if you use iTunes, that would be awesome. I miss my pretty 5-star rating. I mean, I don't need 5 stars, but I definitely don't deserve 3 point something. I think like actually a third of my ratings, or maybe even more than a third at this point, are 1 stars. So from just all the review bombing. Yeah, which is kind of a big compliment. If you think about it, because you mean that much to to somebody, even if it's in a bad way. Uh, they were so weird, right? Well, maybe they were dreaming. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Delchana actress has had the 5 seasons explained to her, she said in an interview. Yeah, I heard that too. But I mean, they could always there's so many different ways that they could go with it. They could extend it. They could kind of, quicken up the pace and get it done in 3 seasons, who knows? Um, haters gonna hate, right? Like, I I'm such a big supporter of all the other, people making, Yellowjackets content. Like, I love collaborating. It just being friendly with the other content creators creates a better fandom experience overall for everybody else. So I don't understand why some people just aren't interested in that. Um, you on the podcast? Oh no, I'm on the podcast apps. I'm on all the podcast apps, so you can just look up the Antler Queens and you'll find it. They just want to be mad about something, right? Yeah. Um, yeah. Some people just their egos make them take things way too seriously. Um, but guys, I'm losing my voice. So I am going to get out of here for the night. My back is killing me and I'm about to stop being able to speak soon. So, but if you could oh, thank you, Miss T. I really appreciate that. That's very sweet. Um for sure, fandoms are places to escape our daily dramas. Yeah, they should be, but they're so often not. Um, Chloe, thank you. Courtney, thank you. Thank you, everybody. You guys are so awesome. Seriously, you make my Sunday nights. I was really nervous about doing these lives, and I was like, oh God, what if nobody shows up? But it's been a blast, and I'm really looking forward to these. I'm gonna have guest co-hosts with me for a couple of them. Actually, for next week, Justin from Out of the Woods is going to be joining me. He really wanted to do episode 4 with me because Dan is his favorite character. So he's going to be joining me next week. And then Lexi, who hosted the Supernatural versus Practical episode with me. She is going to be guest co-hosting with me for episode 5, the episode 5 after show. So keep coming back. Every time you come back, you get a new entry into the drawing for the Letterman jacket. Again, it's only open to US residents because of shipping. But still, if you're in a different country, still go ahead and enter, because if you win, I will design a cool custom shirt, a custom Yellowjackets shirt for you. So yeah, just go ahead and enter. And then if you win, I'll do that. And then I'll just, go to the next person in the US whose name I select to win. So whoever's name I pick will get something regardless of what country you're in. But everybody, thank you so much for joining me and for rating and liking and subscribing. And you guys are awesome. And I will see you next week. Bye.